It's easier to see some of this like on a piece of paper versus me talking about it. So like TENS units, the difference between TENS units and neuromuscular electric stimulation devices is a TENS unit dulls the signal, it takes away the signal, and then you get temporary relief. Where we're enhancing the signal, and again, we're opening up that hose and we're getting full
What does the
signal.
TENS unit do to turn it off?
They just use different polarities and different currents.
Got it.
So
Got it.
it's a lot different.
Got it.
So that issue with like a TENS unit is only going to give you so much, and like it's not going to actually enhance anything that you do here. It's just going to like dull the pain, and it's going to go away
like
for
a
a little
Band-Aid.
bit. What?
It's like a Band-Aid to a certain
Kind of like a
extent,
Band-Aid,
just
yeah.
covering up the symptom.
So like a lot of people like will get TENS units and like they work fine, but you're not going to get like any extra performance benefits from it. So like if I throw on a TENS unit on myself and I try to squat 10% higher than I normally squat, I won't be able to with a TENS unit. But if I do the same thing with interactive neuromuscular stim or any of those devices, I can. So we think about all the pro athletes that I think of that like use this. I know currently the Twins pitchers use it.
Nice.
Mike Tyson has used every single neuromuscular electric stim device.
Yeah.
So like he started with the ARP Wave, he went to the New Fit, he went to the NX Pro, and then he circled back to the ARP Wave. I think it's just because he can feel it better.
Interesting.
With the NX Pro, it's a smoother signal, so it doesn't hurt as much.
Got it.
That's one reason why we would use this versus a different device, because it doesn't really hurt. A lot of people just say it kind of feels like buzzing,
Right.
which is totally cool.
Yeah.
If that's what you want. It's only time that it hurts is when you get into that sympathetic response and everything tightens up. And when it tightens up, that's when you want to either breathe through it, move through it, and then it opens back up, and then you have that full recovery. You know,
I think that's why I'm so uncomfortable with it, is because it's like as a strength coach, right?
Yep.
We're focused on movements and movement patterns and like strengthening those, and not really thinking about like the electrical component behind it. You know what I mean?
So like that's the hardest hurdle for most people.
Yeah.
One, I think the hardest hurdle for most people is thinking about the body as an electrical impulse.
Right.
Everything is electrical.
Right.
So like that's why I've said RPR is the best transition into doing this, because if you don't understand the electrical component, you won't understand this.
Right.
So really diving deep into that and understanding like RPR can help with so many things. The issue that this finds versus RPR is RPR, it gives everybody empowerment. And I understand the business side with these devices. There's a lot of proprietary stuff where you have to sign this, you have to sign this, you have to sign this, and then they make everyone else sign those things. So then like there's only certain things that I can put out to the public. The training on it, a lot of that has to be like strictly within the company here. They can't go sell it to everybody else because it's proprietary stuff, and that becomes a whole different issue.
I do have a question actually. Is there so like the NX Pro has what, like 5 different hertz settings?
Yeah, so we have 250 hertz here. If I go down, I can go to 240. I can go 230. I can do 220, 215.
Oh.
So I can do that. And certain body parts do require like other hertz. So in the NX Pro, and if you read the Body Electric from Robert Becker, he talks about like healing bones. We're not able to do that with NX Pro. So
that was my next question.
We're at 250 hertz, or we're at 50 hertz here. It won't go down from there.
Got it.
To heal bones.
Got it.
Which it's a very, very low frequency.
Got it. Because I thought it could do
good.
bones.
Not this one.
Got it. Okay.
Not this one.
Got it.
And like knowing that type of stuff, like
so, like, because like at one point you're like, oh, we should do this of like the dead bone in there.
Yeah.
So like, say you wanted to try, and it's say like it's supposed to be 20 hertz, but we can only go to 50, is there like, I don't want to say like a damaging effect? Like would it still
There wouldn't be a damaging
promote?
effect. It could promote things around it.
Got it.
To continue to get better.
Got it.
But in the end, like there are certain frequencies for each body part.
Right.
Muscles like are fine within the 50 to 250.
Is there like a trend? Like the further away you get from like the central nervous or the spinal cord, the less frequency you need? Like fingers, like would fingers like need way less hertz? No. Okay.
It's different parts of the body. So bones need a certain thing. Your GI needs a certain hertz. At the end of the day, it still needs some sort of frequency.
This is probably totally off topic, but do you find like the deeper that you're trying to get, the lower the hertz? So like typically like when you have the stim on, you're doing muscles.
Yeah.
So then like would you essentially like get to a lower hertz if you're trying to do like bone or like internal organs? Like is that
I think that is definitely the case.
Got it.
Where and he like again, if we're thinking about Robert Becker's experience in like back in the 60s. So Robert Becker did all this shit back in like the 60s.
Okay.
And they haven't changed any orthopedic stuff since then. It's all the same, which is
scary.
More than scary, it's very, very concerning.
Yeah.
Because we've changed all these things with medical industry, and then we have this as a tool that we can use to help people get better. Like if someone has like plantar fasciitis, like, oh, I've tried this, I can probably help with that within like a 30-minute session, and you're good to go. You probably never need to see me again, at least for that issue, which is super dope.
Yeah.
That's what we want to see.
Right.
Not great for business, but I think that's also why, and that's again speculation, why the medical industry wouldn't want this to go out.
Interesting.
And
has it been presented to the medical industry?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So like they use similar technology for stroke and TBI patients. I used that technology when I worked at a major hospital here in Minnesota.
Interesting.
So that like definitely helped. And like I know I had a professor when I was undergrad, she was at, I think it was Illinois, and they use similar technology to help people with spinal cord injuries walk again.
Interesting.
So like it's been around, people know about it.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's a mixture of business and proprietary, as well as business and we'll lose customers if they don't feel like they need to see it.
But you would think like just word of mouth, like, oh, you fixed me, I'm going to tell my best friend who also has it. So you won't see that same person, but you would.
It sounds so unbelievable that people don't want to try it a lot of times. So, for example, my mother told her friend about it and like, hey, I think you should really try this. And I've known her since I was a kid, her friend. And she knows I won't like do anything bad to her or hurt her or anything. And she asked for all my info to like reach out. She hasn't reached out yet. And we have to allow them to like reach out because I can't reach out to her unless she really feels like she wants to do this. And it just sounds so unbelievable that like you're not going to be able to help me. I've had this problem forever. Like I have one client that he got 36 or 37 cortisone shots in his back.
It's too many.
He came in for something else, and we worked on his back, and he said this is the best session he's ever felt. Best he's ever felt in a really long time. You can actually like touch his toes. He can do things that like he would never even try to do.
Yeah.
And like he's in that guy's in law enforcement. So like not only are we able to help somebody get through day-to-day life, but he's able to do his job and protect people in everyday life too.
Yeah.
So like going into more of this, I have like mentors that have used this for 15 plus years, and some use it for like SWAT, SEALs, and that performance thing. whereas others use it for more of that rehab-based stuff. And I use it right now. I have a provider that I work with that does surgeries that has a tremor. And her tremor was like an 8 out of 10. And every single time I see her, we get it down to a 0. Tremor's gone. And only a few sessions, it took maybe 6 sessions, we were from that, when she comes and sees me, she was only to a 2. And so we slowly break it down. Now, the tremor stemmed from her neck and it went all the way to her hand. And we were able to, with RPR and NX Pro, continue to bring it down. So like the tremor really only stems from forearm down now. She's not holding all that tension here, and she's starting to breathe through her diaphragm. And that is how we continue to progress. Yeah.
Got it.
That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. A lot of crazy shit.